Happy Tuesday, Internet. Happy Tuesday, everyone. And tonight I am once again joined by CoquiPirate.
Hello.
Gunderson.
Heyo.
Queenie.
Hello.
James.
Konbanwa.
Konnichiwa. And the one word of Japanese I know. And yes, once again there is an intriguingly titled video in la description, which is making a point about guns and gun safety, albeit somewhat comedically, shall we say. Perhaps people would like to click, and it's a quick video if you want to go and watch it quickly before proceeding. And the sort of tagline, as it were, is, if they find it, they'll play with it. And I do think that it does sort of highlight, and part of what they're saying is, this would shock you. This would appall you. And I don't actually know, off the top of my head, and maybe I should have looked this up, because I did see some stats not long ago about how many American children are killed by other American children playing with guns. And the point of the matter is, the anti-gun control people in America are always saying, well, that you can't judge everybody the same because, we know about gun safety. You don't keep it loaded, keep it locked away in a safe or something. But the fact of the matter is, at some point, children are going to get into the gun cabinet, and you can't trust everyone to be responsible, and people die. There's also the 5 grown men who chopped their own penises off in the past couple of years. But anyway, yes. I'm going to go in reverse order of yesterday. So, Ujames, your thoughts on the video, the message, and the issue?
The video, it's quite funny if you're a sexually repressed American, or, well, anyone. So many people are sexually repressed. Yes, it's 2 children sword fighting with dildos, because of course they don't know what they are. Oh, ha ha ha! It's so hilarious.
It's the look on the women's faces that's funny.
No, again, it's just, oh, you have a dildo, do you? Well, yes, and I do too.
Wait, why would they both have separate dildos in the same house? I would assume that they both belong to one of the women, unless they came to show each other one another's dildos, which would be funny.
I think one is a neighbour who popped over with her kid, and the kids are on a play date. And so one kid, unbeknownst to their mother, brought that dildo with them. So I think the implication is they each own a dildo. But anyway,
you own a dildo. Yes, I do too. The kids don't know what they're playing with. Let's hide the matter. But yes. This video was brought to us by a group called Evolve, their motto being, it's the right to bear arms, not the right to be a dumbass. Now, you see, the problem, though, with the idea of always unloading your guns and locking them away in a gun cabinet or a safe is that it's an evil plot by Obama to disarm us, so that when his evil Nazi, Muslim, culturally Marxist, feminazi stormtroopers kick down the door, we won't be able to defend ourselves. Seriously, there are people in America who literally sleep with a loaded gun under their pillow.
I know somebody on my Facebook puts up an image, and I often see troubling things on my Facebook, like really bad arguments that are anti-gun control or whatever, and someone had posted this thing that said, so you're against having a gun, are you? But admit it. When there's an intruder in the house, what are you going to do? Phone a friend who owns a gun? And I sarcastically commented, yes, because calling the police would never occur to me. I was like, do that many Americans immediately? Their brain immediately goes to, damn, there's an intruder. I'm anti-gun ownership. better phone the friend I know who owns a gun and wait for them.
So one gun nut, she was a wife of someone who's part of one of these nut job militias that run around in the southern United States shooting up forests, said, well, the only reason you call the police is because they have guns, so why not just cut out the middleman?
Well, we also need to bear in mind, I don't know about, like, these people individually, but a lot of these people also have this severe mistrust of the police. You know, a lot of this sort of gun ownership culture.
Oh yeah, that is the fundamental basis of this gun obsession in America. It is fear of the government, fear of the police, fear of the neighbours, fear of yourself. You know, you have to be armed 24 hours a day because somebody somewhere is always out to get you. You can't trust the government to protect you because they're out to get you. You can't trust the police to protect you because they're out to get you. This old West mentality that if you're strong, you have a gun. If you don't, you're dead.
It should be noted that in the pioneer days of the West, guns were outlawed.
The fact that they were outlawed didn't stop the people owning them, though. And,
yeah, I know, but we have some misconceptions of what that era of American history was.
Even if our perception of that period is false, that false perception is what the same attitude, the same fear which created that false perception is what still controls a significant percentage of Americans to this very day. As I say, the fear that everyone is out to get you and the certainty that rights, freedoms, safety and everything else is governed by who has the most guns.
Queenie, as our token American citizen, of guns and dildos.
Well, I think you should have an effective strategy for keeping them both out of the hands of children if you don't, at the very least, want to be embarrassed. I mean, those two ladies looked pretty mortified. It's like, oh my God, they're playing with Dada! And then, but I mean, when you think about it, kids playing with guns is a bit more severe than that, so...
Oh, yeah. I think that's part of the point. It's like, this shocks you. You know, which ties in with what James was saying.
But imagine if they shot each other in the face. That would definitely be worse.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Well, it's rather like a point that James has made before, that we care, actually, yeah. and Gunderson's made a similar point on Facebook, that there's so much, you know, that people are mortified by sexual things, but somehow dangerous things like violence, you know, people are so often cool with.
Yes. When did I make that point?
Didn't you say that on a Facebook status not long ago?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Oh, okay. But Queenie, do you think this video sends out an effective gun safety message?
I think that the people who wouldn't listen to it anyway, but
right.
That's just me. I mean, for a moderate, responsible gun owner, it is going to be like a reminder, hey, remember to lock up your guns.
Yeah, but as I say, the main reason why a significant percentage of gun owners in America own guns in the first place is because they are terrified of how they keep it loaded under the pillow because they're afraid of everyone and everything. Yeah,
well, my parents own guns, and they keep them locked up. And I think my mom only wanted the guns because she thought Obama didn't want her to have the gun.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, like a woman, she bought them because they're pretty.
Okay, we've had a sexist remark on the show, but I do want to point out it wasn't from one of the men.
So it's okay.
But if you make one, I'm going to jump down your throat. Just keep that in mind. I can only make the sexist remarks here.
If women get to have pretty guns, I want a pretty gun.
Well, then you should go get a pretty gun.
I want one of those guns that fit securely in my bra. You know, seems really handy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want an official My Little Pony gun.
They probably make those.
Actually,
if they make fleshlights, I'm sure they make guns.
Okay, Gunderson, your thoughts on the video, the message, and the issue?
Yeah, I was basically going to bring up what you just said about, if this stuff about sex shocks you more than, your own children's safety, then there's something, you've got your priorities very messed up.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I guess you already brought that up. So I guess in a way it could be interpreted as, poking fun at people's prudish attitudes to sex as well.
Mm.
But basically, I can't really think of anything to say that hasn't already been said. So, yeah.
Okay, I'll hand the floor over to Coqui.
Well, my question is, what is this more insulting to? Is it more insulting to dildos, or is it more insulting to guns? Take a moment to think about this. Because on the one hand, what you've all brought up, it's basically, treating, kids playing around with dildos as if someone had shot someone, which, is incredibly offensive to the dildos. But at the same time, it's essentially equating, owning a gun, be it for safety or for political expression or whatever, to the same thing as having a dildo to accompany masturbation. Which, to be fair, a lot of the MRA does seem like a circle jerk. But, the symbolism, it can go in so many different ways when you think about this.
I don't think that's what it means, but I get what you're saying.
It's essentially like saying that guns are your little toys that, hide your toys. But yeah.
But, yes, excuse me. First of all, what Coqui said there, yes, comparing owning a gun to owning a dildo. A lethal weapon to a sex toy. Again, America, what the fuck. But also, the point about the humour, the message, this is something I didn't pick up on before because, I just don't see it as funny. I just don't see it as an issue. Women use dildos. But the fact is that the humour can make a point more effectively, especially to people who are resistant to that point, than any amount of shock, etc. If they'd shown the two children running out of the house because they'd found their parents' guns, and one of them had gone off, and the mothers had both screamed, that would be incredibly dramatic. It would be incredibly powerful. It would get the point across. It would get the point across directly to everyone who is already pro-gun control, but everyone else would just immediately blot it out. No, it's an exaggeration, it's an appeal to emotion, that would never happen, blah, 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 blah. You're just trying to vilify gun owners, etc., etc., etc. But by making the same point in a funny way, playing on American in particular prudishness and this idea that the fact that we are more comfortable seeing people shooting each other in the face than holding hands, they can make that same point much more subtly and hopefully have a much greater effect.
I'd say the only problem I see with this is that a lot of the target audience are going to be the Christian right, who are going to be shocked and disgusted. You'd only put a dildo in a video if Satan told you to. Maybe I'm stereotyping there, but that is the shock element of the comedy. So in terms of the audience it's aimed at, but on the whole, though, while I can see the criticisms being made, I'm going to say that I'm voting yay rather than nay on this. So when I go round for final thoughts, if you could end them with summarising with simply a yay or nay to the video. So going in the same order, final thoughts, yay or nay, and goodbye, James.
Yes, I think I've said everything that I wanted to say before, and yay, may the great holy donkey bless your house for 7 generations if you do own guns, and you remember to keep them safe, lock them away out of the reach of children.
Aha. And so I was a bit surprised. So that was a yay after all. Okay. And Queenie, final thoughts, yay or nay, and goodbye.
Well, the flying spaghetti monster always preaches responsibility, and so regardless of how we provoke that responsibility, I would have to say yay, and may his newly appendage touch you.
And Gunderson.
Yep, I've said everything. I didn't really say anything.
You're a bit faint, Gunderson.
Oh, sorry, I forgot I'd put my headset down. Yeah, I've said I didn't really say anything, to be honest, because everything I have to say has really already been said, so yay.
Yeah.
Okay, and your sign-off?
What do you mean?
As in your goodbye?
And goodbye, yes.
And CoquiPirate?
Well, I want to conclude in saying that, like a dildo, a gun can be many things. It can be lots of fun to play around with. It can be
dildo.
It can be lots of fun to play around with. It can be inserted in one of your orifices, I suppose. It can also be a symbol of your liberation. But we also need to bear in mind to be conscientious that this isn't something to, be put on display. Guns more so than dildos. I think that the message does, is a friendly little reminder. It's like, be sure to keep your guns locked up. Maybe a lot of people have bought guns, they're having fun with it, and they haven't really thought, oh yeah, I have kids in the house. So I think it's effective. Ultimately, yay, and may the hamster of gun and dildo safety be upon you all.
There's a hamster for everything. Okay. I'm slightly going to tell you, James, off by saying men use dildos too. But I'm also going to I'm going to echo the thought. If you insist on having a gun, be safe with it. If you insist on having a dildo, be safe with it. And whatever you do, do not get them confused.
Yes.
And on that thought, good night, YouTube. Good night, everyone.